Now, you remember many times I told you about the culture that them folks have. It's a culture. It's not an ism. It's a culture. And the reason why it's not an ism, because if someone has any kind of ism, anti-black racism or whatever, right, you can pick an ism. It's usually relegated to that one person. It's not relegated to a culture. Culture is something that you do, you pass down. And I've said many times before, their culture isn't a progressive culture. It doesn't really change. It stays the same. Now, there's a video I want to show you from 56 years ago, okay, in 1970. And this is videos out of Augusta, Georgia. And this around the time they had desegregated the schools, and these folks was hot about the desegregation of schools. Now, I want you to hear the words they're going to say to black people. And when you hear these words, it's no different than what you hear today. Let's go ahead and check that out.
We are standing up for what we think is right now.
Barbara,
I mean it.
you're playing into her hands. Let me speak to him, okay?
Let's just cool it. Okay? In the name of God, how much more are we supposed to take?
Take from what?
From you people.
I mean, you people. You sound like I'm a dog or something.
As we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from Amen.
And they don't have enough gumption to turn around and tell that Supreme Court to rule on the laws of the land rather than to mess with our children and ruin our education and put our country down.
You kidding me?
Now, they were appointed officials, and we'll impeach every one of them if we have to get this country back where it belongs.
Maybe by the time somebody do something, now, all of a sudden, the tide is turning a little bit, and you see how things feel. Now, you all come upset, huh? You're all upset. Say somebody taking your rights away.
We want no trouble. We don't condemn these black people. They are human beings too. We understand that, but we want our school, and we're going to get it if we have to go to Washington to get it. We are doing what they have done many, many times. Now, is that wrong, people of this world today? Is it wrong that we stand up for a change? For the first time, we are standing up for our rights. What is wrong about that? And why did he have to come over here? To order us to do what they want us to do. Now we're not going to do it. That is over. Amen. These people fight for your rights. And I mean fight for what you think is right and what's in here to fight for. You got a heart, you got a conscience. Fight for it. And give it all you got. And I mean the people of the world today better do it. Because if they don't, they're going to be dominated throughout this world by this federal government, which is dominating the world today. No matter who you are, black or white, if you feel that it's right, fight for it. But fight for the right thing. Don't create a disturbance, but fight for what you got and for what you worked hard for. In my opinion, if anybody has a right to fight, it's the Indians. They were the ones that were here in this country before the black people or before we were. Anybody has a right to fight, they have a right to fight for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, everything that they were saying in that video was 56 years ago. And you're hearing the exact same words today in 2026. Now, a lot has changed since 1970 to 2026, that's for sure. And I don't know if that lady is still alive today. You know, maybe she is. We don't know. But it'd be great to hear her opinion now, since things have completely changed from 1970 all the way up to 2026. But when I tell you that it is not a progressive culture, that's what I was talking about. When your talking points stay the same from 1970 to 2026, there's no progression. You're still crying. You're still saying you're a victim. The only way you can be happy unless other people are oppressed. It's the same thing. Going to school, talking about saving our schools. Now, a lot of black people say in hindsight, let me go on another route. Some black people may say, well, you know, even though I know she said that in the guise of racism, she actually was right because we were better off in our own schools. The reason, and you got to understand history, the reason why they was fighting for integration and things like that is because our education was second and third rate. So, give an example. Let's put it in modern day terms. So if they told black people you could only get an iPhone 12, but all the white people had the iPhone 17, or 18 whenever it come out, and you only relegated to the 12, and when the white people get 18, you can get 13, you're always going to be behind the white people in the area of technology, or say a phone today, right? So you don't want to be behind with the technology because they'll put down your earning potential and the way to, most of your earning potential in the way you feed your family. And they can easily say, well, you're not really educated enough because you don't know enough. So we can't hire you for a job. So they looked at that and said, wait a minute. If white folks getting all the new books, they getting the best education, well, shoot, we need to be in there getting the same education too. Integration wasn't about going to eat white people's food or going to the school of white folks. The black folks had their own schools. It was about black folks being economically and educationally behind white people, and that was done on purpose, ladies and gentlemen. Because some people talk about, integration, they don't look at it in the lens of what created maybe that fight. Now, we all could say, well, we had a better situation in the end, or what they should have did, because it's easy to armchair quarterback 56 years later to say, well, maybe they should have just fought to have the same books in the black schools and kept the schools the way they were. That's easy for us to say today, but in that time period where they were living, if you really study how black people's conditions were in that time period, we got to just kind of look at history and learn from it, right? But most of our children don't really want to go to school with people like her either. You know what I'm saying? But their ideology has never changed about black people. Never has changed. They think about us in the same manner that they think about us from 1970 into 2026. They're complaining today, talking about their rights and woke and all. It's the same thing. They're complaining about the Supreme Court not doing their bidding. Anytime that the courts don't give them oppression and putting down people, the system just is rigged. The system is unfair. They do us so wrong. Like who are these people that's doing us this? They're communists. They like black people. It's like if they do anything that's just halfway decent, they're wrong. That's why January the 6th happened. Because they felt that, wait a minute, no, if they feel the government don't give them what they want to burn it down. That's how they feel about it. That's how they feel. And that's culture, because you look at the history of this country, and that's exactly how they moved all these years. If they can't get what they want to tear the whole thing down. You know what I'm saying? So when black people say they nothing but at one point in time you say a broken record, or you can say a corrupt file, or whatever you want to say today, but nothing has changed with them. And it's not going to change because it's culture. It is the culture. And see, they don't want to examine videos like this. See, this is American history. Their anti-black racism has been, and like I said, that's 1970. So right after the civil rights movement. Dr. King is passed away. Malcolm X has passed away, around that time period. But it just never ceased to amaze me just to watch how they and listen. And then when they run around here talking about make America great again, what are we going back to? Because it wasn't great for black people. It wasn't. But at the same time, listen to what they're saying. Make America great again, meaning our greatest days are behind us, and we want to recapture that. You'll never recapture that. People people should have their greatest days ahead of them, not their greatest days behind you. Has-beens talk about, think about it. You have a music artist, and they always talking about, and man, in 2005, I was selling the best record, and in 2007, I did this tour. In 2010, I did this. Okay. What have you did since 2010? He ain't done nothing. He fell off, right? He can't even do a tour. Other artists are doing tours, but he can't. So he's still trying to relive 2005. Well, that's how it is for them. They are has been. Because if you want to make America great again, meaning you don't see your best days ahead of you, See, me, every day I wake up, I see my best days ahead of me. I don't look back to 10 years ago and say, oh, man, I had it good, 10 years ago. Certain things I had in the past, I can say, ooh, well, I can replicate that. But I feel that I'm more in position now to even not only replicate, but triple what I had. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say your best day is supposed to be ahead of you, not behind you. You understand? And that's what these people want. They want to return back to those days where they can oppress us and they can get away with it and nothing can be said about it. Them days are done. Them days are over. The only thing I can suggest to you, and I've said this before because I'm a logical thinker, there are states in the country where it's more homogenous, white American. And I mean, if I was in y'all position, I felt like that about black people and other people, I'll just move to those states and be happy. That's it. I'll just move there and be happy. And that way, because trust me, there's some states black people are not in like that. And if you do see a black person, there's far and few in between. I promise you that. I'll never forget that time I went to West Virginia. Oh, my God. No, I couldn't be there. Oh, Lord, no. Y'all can keep a place like that. But there's states where they can move to, and it'd be all good. But they still won't be happy. Even around each other. Listen, if you study history, they're never happy even when they're around each other. They'll be fighting each other. Because that's just part of the culture. Based on history. But it's good to look back at history, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to look back and understand, when I say they don't have a progressive culture, is what I mean. They don't change. They don't say, you know what, man, that was wrong. Our ideology was wrong. This is why they can still have the same arguments today. This is why. And they never learn until they have to deal with it. Like right now, they're dealing with a lot of issues and problems because of Trump policies. A lot of them are suffering right now. A lot of them. Some of them admitting it, a lot of them not. But it's a new day. Your greatest days are behind y'all. So, you still be here, of course, but you're just not going to have it like that no more. It's time for everybody else to have they turn now. And the world is changing. I'm telling you, by 2030, I promise you, that's not long. 2030, they not going to know America, and they definitely not going to know the rest of the world because the rest of the world is getting tired of them. I'm telling you, they're getting tired. And they're looking for any kind of way to decouple from them now. That's something they never did before. But them days of having all this unchecked power and all that, that's coming to an end. And that's the point. They really going to lose it because they're not going to have control anymore.